Hey everyone, Jen here, and I am going live. You can ask me anything today. I have a few questions that came in, and I'll wait for Facebook to build an audience, and then we can have a chat. While we're waiting, I'll pull up those questions. All right. So I'm here at home, and it's spring break. The kids are watching TV and playing computer games right now. It's also nap time for Cora. All right. Hi, Shauna. Oh, you're back. We were just live together in Time Mastery for Women, which actually I should remind you all, Time Mastery for Women enrollment ends tomorrow on Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. It won't open again until the fall. So if you haven't heard of that, Time Mastery for Women is one of my programs. One moment. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. There it works. So I was just saying, Time Mastery for Women is one of my programs that closes tomorrow. Shauna is a member of that, so that's why I said I had just seen her. So Time Mastery for Women closes tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Central. I'd love to have you join us. It's your chance to regain control over your life and time so you can spend more time on the things you love and way less time on meaningless, mundane household tasks that really drain you. And I'm a mom of 6, and I feel like I've been through that low point. I've figured out how to align my schedule with what's important, and here I am trying to share the same message with you. So that's in Time Mastery for Women. You can go to timemasteryforwomen.com to learn more, and again, that closes tomorrow. So welcome everyone. I have some good questions to answer today from, let me see if I can pull those up, one moment. Okay. Excuse me. I just ate some Jill's crackers. They're my favorite brand. I have a little bit in my teeth. Okay. So it's spring break. And what are you guys doing for spring break if it's your spring break? Share it all in the comments. What's going on in your neck of the woods? All right. Okay, well, let me get to those questions while you guys are typing your responses. I should have had them ready. I thought I did, but it wasn't open. So I have some good questions from Shauna and from, there it is, from Danielle and from Maria and yep, good. So let's start with Maria's question. Maria says, I have an issue with procrastination, or is it that I'm afraid of the outcome of what I need to get done? If it's a cell phone call that I need to make, or paying a bill, or applying for a job online, I get very anxious. How can I know if I am just procrastinating or if I have a bigger issue? Well, Maria, I would recommend talking to someone who can help you dissect that. Maybe it's a therapist or a counselor or a coach or anybody. Usually it's someone who's trained to kind of see these things. Maybe you have a fear or a block. Maybe you don't feel, maybe you have some mental mindset that helps you or causes you to think you can't accomplish things. Maybe you truly do have anxiety issues, which is totally fine. Tons and tons, millions of people have anxiety issues and procrastination issues. But I would just talk to someone about that and try to dissect it. So you can talk it through and figure out what might be causing those feelings. I feel pretty confident that you don't want to spend the rest of your life feeling anxious about paying bills or applying for a job. Okay, applying for a job would cause anxiety for anyone. But paying a bill or making a phone call, I don't think you want to feel anxiety for things like that over time. So talk to someone and see if that might help. I would guess that it might be a bigger issue if paying bills or the phone calls causes anxiety, but you never know. Okay, Shauna asks, How do I let go of trying to live up to someone else's expectations of me? How do I let go of feeling that what I do is not acceptable or a disappointment to others? Gulp. So Sean and I just talked about this in the Time Mastery for Women Facebook Live, but I'll talk about that again a little more. I told Shauna there, and I'll say it again, Shauna needs to do what Louise Hay calls mirror work. I think she kind of coined the term, but looking in the mirror every day and looking deep in your own eyes and just saying, I love you. I really love you. And at first you might cringe because you've never said such a thing or it's not true. But after 30 days of doing this two or three times a day, you'll notice you really do feel more confident and more self-compassionate. And then how do you let go of that feeling? Well, as you grow in your feeling of self-acceptance, knowing yourself, being comfortable with yourself, and feeling like, yeah, I'm doing what feels right for me. I'm going to be confident in those feelings. Then you can let go of what everyone else thinks because you've got everything you need right inside of you. Meditation is helpful for this, journaling, but you've got to spend that quiet time just listening and knowing how you feel. So, good question. Danielle asks, how do you stay above the fray in a competitive work environment? A lot of infighting. Oh, that's so hard. So I recommend you start your day with meditation or journaling or quiet time where you know who you authentically are. You know your authentic self is calm and grounded and happy and peaceful. And you know that because you go to that quiet place every day and let go of all those negative thoughts, let go of all criticism of yourself or others, let go of anything that doesn't feel good, and you kind of just start fresh every day. Then as you're in this competitive work environment, you can be like, recognize, wow, I'm feeling a ton of pressure, I'm feeling a ton of stress here, feeling negativity, and I don't know how much you have to interact with your coworkers, but taking frequent bathroom breaks if needed to get back to that grounded place, putting in earbuds so you can stay in your own bubble of positivity and happiness. And as you need to interact with them, I'd minimize it if it's truly a negative, cutthroat type of environment. You got to do your job, of course, but when you do it from that centered place, it will feel so much better. Okay. So Sherry asks, how do I work on letting go of my child who is about to go off to college next year? Oh, that's a tricky one, isn't it? Well, I think when you're letting go of a child, I have not done it yet, but I have to some extent because 15, almost 16-year-old, he just wants more and more freedom. And you panic a little bit thinking you're losing control, number one. You can't control what they're doing anymore. They might not live your values. They might not do what you think is important. They might not be successful, and that's really what you want for them. So that causes a lot of fear, this unknown. So one tip I would recommend is taking those fears all the way to the worst case scenario. You're going to go to the worst case scenario. Let's say your child doesn't hold a job. Take it to the worst case scenario, or whatever fears are coming up. Is it a son or a daughter? Well, let's say they aren't able to have a normal relationship. Take that all the way to the worst case scenario. Go there. Imagine your child having to work at McDonald's or somewhere else that maybe isn't the ideal in your mind. Maybe McDonald's is the ideal, but you get the idea. Imagine it and know that in your mind, you've been to that place and you survived. You still love them. They survived as well. They're learning a lot. I think so much of that is fear for what could happen. So take it to the worst case scenario. Recognize you can survive it and everything's going to be fine. Even if it does go there, then you can come back and anything else that happens that wasn't that worst case scenario is a gift. Hey, they're still in college. They didn't flunk out. They have a relationship and it's lasted for a year and it's still going. Or you just start to celebrate all these amazing things they're doing. So secondly, just keep reminding yourself to truly do just that. Celebrate their self-discovery. This is scary for you because they might adopt values that aren't yours. They might live in a way completely different from you, and it would be hard for you to wrap your brain around it, but just be thrilled to watch them discover themselves. And that's so exciting for kids going off to college. So look at it as a cool journey of discovery and maybe journal about it. Daughter, okay. Oh, well, aside from all that, you're just going to miss her. And you're going to grieve a lot of things, but you're going to grieve, maybe growing up wasn't everything you imagined it could be, or you weren't the perfect mom you wanted to be. You're going to grieve what could have been, what your mind always thought it would be, and now it's over. You're going to grieve, and that's okay. You'll feel sad, and you'll have to come to accept what really is now. Your daughter's moving on. You did the best you could. Letting go of guilt and any negativity you have about the job you did, because every mom replays her mistakes, and then accepting what is and enjoying what's happening going forward. So that's what I try to do with my almost 16-year-old. He has a lot more freedom than most 16-year-olds. It just has to be that way with him. So I've already been down many of those paths because of, I have fear for the choices he makes, which aren't that bad, but he did choose to quit his job, and I worry about that. So good question, Sherry. Okay. I have another question here from Danielle. I have my computer as well here. Danielle asked, one of my best friends has placed me on the back burner over and over again recently, canceling plans, changing plans, inviting people I don't know to my comp passing celebration. Congrats, Danielle. Making very little time for me when I visited her hometown last week. We are having lunch this week, and I want to tell her how I'm feeling. How do I approach this conversation without attacking her? I think it's cool you want to have the conversation. And I would start it with, you know how much I love you, but I want to work something through that's been bothering me. And you start it with the love, then you're going to say clearly what this conversation is about, and you're giving the conversation a container with love and a container with what the topic is. And then you'll just share, I felt this way. It might be just my perception, but this is what I've noticed. And I'm not attacking you, but what are your thoughts? And maybe you could ask, is there something I'm doing that makes you want to spend less time with me? You can totally work it through just like any relationship. Hi, Marianne. So so Danielle, I like what you're doing, and I can't wait to hear how that conversation goes. So Marianne is from, where are you living now, Marianne? Switzerland? I can't remember. Germany? So my husband has a pair of shoes that Marianne gave to him when she lived here in Madison, Wisconsin. They are Doc Martens, and we were just commenting last night that after 7 years of owning these, or since whenever time Marianne used to live here, the shoes are starting to crack. They have lasted that long in Germany. So thanks for some amazing shoes, Marianne. He wants no other brand from now on. And Marianne and my husband and I all wear the same size of shoe. It's hilarious. And now my son, my oldest son. Not that we share shoes, but she did pass those along to him. Okay. So any other questions? Well, again, I want to remind you that tomorrow is your last chance to sign up for Time Mastery for Women. If you want to get a grip on your life and your schedule and feel like you know what's happening each day, you want to go to bed at night feeling like you accomplished something that moved your life forward, and maybe even feel like you're living your purpose, something you were born to do, using your talents to make the world better. That's what Time Mastery for Women is all about. And it's the only program of its kind out there that is really just for women. We have, guilt and perfectionism and good mom syndrome, all of these things that we heap upon ourselves, which really dictate a lot of our use of time. And when we dissect those and let go of good mom syndrome and guilt and the shoulds, we can really start to pay attention to how we feel and make sure we're using our time on the things that help us feel good and happy. So that's what Time Mastery for Women is all about. In Module 1, we talk about getting clear on your priorities and establishing a vision of what you do want. And you get to get your inbox to inbox 0. So powerful. And we talk about in Module 2, building this structure and having the week at a glance and a year at a glance. So you know at any given moment what's happening in the week and what's happening in the year. So nothing sneaks up on you again. And it really helps you to see, hey, I have a lot less time than I think I have. So I need to let go of some of these extra things and start giving my yes to the most important things. So anyway, we would love to have you. You can go to timemasteryforwomen.com to sign up. We start Monday. It's a 4-week online course, and you get 20 videos and lots of templates, and you get to work through the whole system in a private Facebook group with about 200 other members who are in there working together with you. Well, more like 175, I think. So we'd love to have you guys. Yeah, Marianne, the shoes have been great. All right, everyone, any other questions? I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you. I'll do this again maybe in a week or two. And thanks for being a member of Vibrant Happy Women. And if you're not, go ahead and join us. It's a free Facebook group. I do have the Vibrant Happy Women podcast, and lots of people like talking about the episodes. So we come together in Vibrant Happy Women and do that. Right now, we've been having a lot of conversation about finding our purpose. A lot of women at midlife or 40-ish, late 30s, feeling like there's something more they need to be doing. And we've been discussing that. So I wish you all a wonderful Wednesday. Yes, Sherry, good to meet you. And I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.